Welcome, one and all, to Pacific414 episode review. I'm your host, Mike, and in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the Bad Batch episode, Decommissioned, where we see our band of heroes. Well, they never left Ord Mantell. As a matter of fact, they're still there. And the reason why they're still there, well, Omega's learning how to use her crossbow, and Sid has a mission for them. And that mission is going to the planet Corellia to pick up a battle droid commander so they can find out intel that'll help them against the Empire. So, after Hunter reluctantly agrees to go on this mission because Sid tells him that, well, you're part of the mission whether you want to be part of it or not. This is the job I have for you. You're going on it. Now go. So, there's no debate. They end up getting to Corellia by sneaking underneath a ship that's already going there. And they get to the decommissioned facility where there's a smelting pool. And they're looking for the head of the battle droid commander. They do end up locating the battle droid commander's head on a conveyor belt. But they're not alone in going after this head. There are two other sisters who are going after the head, and it's the Martez sisters, Rafa and Trace. Well, they're there because apparently they have an informant who needs that information as well. So it's a race between the teams of the Bad Batch with Omega and the Martez sisters to recover the head so they can gather the intel that lies within the head. What ends up happening is you have a chase down between Rafa and Omega. Omega loses her crossbow. Omega ends up getting caught up in some of the wreckage and debris of the battle droids that are being decommissioned. There's the B2 battle droids. There's the regular battle droids. Roger, Roger. And again, it's a race. Wrecker, we learn, is afraid of heights, and his inhibitor chip is acting even worse. He's even starting to fall under the effects of the inhibitor chip slowly but surely. Even echoes, and I don't mean echo as in the Bad Batch member, he even echoes the statement that we've heard many times before: good soldiers follow order. What ends up happening is you've got Rafa, and you've got Omega, you've got Trace, Hunter, Tech, and Echo. What ends up happening is Echo at one point in the episode overloads the computer system on purpose. Wrecker is sent to reactivate it, that he is afraid of heights, but he manages to make it across the way where there's the reset module for the main computer system. It's reset. There are police droids swarming in on them, and more keep coming. There's banter between the Martez sisters and the Bad Batch crew. Hunter has to rescue Omega on the conveyor belt after she gets stuck. After he rescues her, the police droids, along with Trace, Rafa, and the Bad Batch crew, are surrounded. We hear an echo of Crosshair saying good soldiers follow orders as Wrecker is beginning to come to after being shot by a few police droids. Wrecker gets the drop on the police droids down below once Omega calls for Wrecker again, saying that they need assistance. They end up taking out the police droids. Everybody manages to go on their way once they're able to download the program of the commanding battle droid, and Tech is able to hack into it. Everybody escapes on their respective ships and goes their separate ways. And then what we see on board Rafa and Trace's ship is that they're communicating with somebody, and they say, and by they being Rafa, says, we have the information you need, and we also know the location of these clone troopers that have gone rogue. What did I think of this episode? It wasn't a terribly bad episode. I didn't think that they needed to take Omega along with them on this mission, being that's a dangerous mission in this decommissioning facility. You know, there's smelting pools everywhere. I felt it was a little too dangerous from a writer's standpoint, but I also understand why the writers of this show went that direction, because where the Bad Batch crew goes, Omega follows. She's part of their crew. And of course, you know, seeing Trace and Rafa again after we saw them in the 4 episodes of season 7 of the Clone Wars, you know, I've got really nothing to say about the sisters. You know, their story arc is that in order to survive, they go on jobs. They go on jobs to earn credits so that they can continue on their fight with the Empire. And before, it was trying to repair various objects and things like Ahsoka's speeder bike in order to get by. And now their battle is against the Empire, so they're trying to do what they can to, as I've said, survive. So it wasn't a bad episode. It looks like we're getting closer and closer to Wrecker's inhibitor chip taking over. And maybe, just maybe, since we've only seen him once since the episode Aftermath, maybe we'll see Crosshairs again. And like I said last week, we'll learn about his crew and perhaps find out more about the initiatives of recruiting civilians to join the Empire as stormtroopers, because we all know that's where this is headed. We all know that the clones are decommissioned themselves, and there's a stormtrooper program to follow. So we'll see what happens in the following episodes. I've watched this episode a couple of times already, and you know, it really didn't change my mind either way. The first 2 viewings, I felt it is what it is. It told the story that the writers felt it needed to be told. Not saying it was my least favorite episode. It really wasn't a particular favorite of mine, but I am going to reserve judgment as we continue to watch this series week after week to see where exactly the writing crew with Dave Filoni is taking this series. So that's it for this review. And if you like this review, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Share this video if you'd like. And if you like the content that you see here on the Pacific414 YouTube channel, please feel free to subscribe. And I shall see you all later.